Hi friends, welcome back to the Avocado Toast Budget. Today we are talking about one of the most frequently asked questions that I have been getting recently, which is what should you do with your stimulus check? So in my opinion, there's a lot of things that you need to take into consideration when deciding what you want to do with your stimulus check. So I wanted to sit down and film a video and walk you guys through that. That way you can make the decision that makes the most sense to you. So if you want to learn more about saving, investing, and paying off debt and how to finally feel more confident with your money, make sure that you hit that subscribe button down below. Also remember to push that notification bell, that way you get notified every single time that I upload, and let's get into it. Okay, so to help you guys make the decision about what you should do with your stimulus check, I am just going to walk you through some questions. Depending on your answers to those questions, that's going to kind of help you navigate what is going to be the best decision for you, because I don't think that I can sit here and blanketly tell everyone who is watching, like, this is the one thing that you need to be doing with your stimulus check, because we are all in different places, we have different values, different goals, and our needs right now in this moment are completely different. So I'm going to walk you guys through kind of how to decide what is going to be best for you, rather than me just sitting here telling you what you should do with it, because I don't think that that's helpful. Okay, so the first question that you need to ask yourself is, are my basic needs being met? Do I have enough money to pay my rent or my mortgage? Is my car running and functional so that I can get to work if you need to commute? Do you have enough food on the table? Are the people who are financially dependent on you taken care of in regards to their basic needs? Because if not, that is the number one thing that the stimulus check needs to go to, is making sure that you are okay and you have those things taken care of. This question is a huge reason why I hate seeing people who blanketly tell everyone that they need to invest their money whenever they get the stimulus check, that they're losing out on money if they're not investing it. Because the reality of it is, it doesn't matter if you're losing out on potential future money if right now your basic needs are not being taken care of. There are tons of people who are unemployed, who are making a lot less than they were during the pandemic, who are in really tough situations, and this stimulus check needs to do for you what you need it to do for you, especially if your basic needs aren't being met. So number one thing, evaluate, see if you need this money to pay for food, to pay for gas for you to get to work, to pay for basic functional clothing for you to be comfortable and have everything that you need on a day-to-day basis. And if right now you are struggling to make ends meet and your basic needs are not being met, please reach out to the local resources that you have around you. Your local resources are probably going to be your best bet, but just in case, I will also link some resources down below for you to access in case you are in need of any of those basic necessities. If currently your basic needs are met, the next question that you need to ask yourself is, do I have a solid emergency fund? In my opinion, the next thing on your priority list should be building up a solid emergency fund. Now, the reason that this is number two, the next question that I have you ask, is because in my opinion, no matter how much debt you are in, if your basic needs are being taken care of and you have enough money to function living day to day, the next thing that I would prioritize is an emergency fund. An emergency fund, even if you are in debt, even if you're in credit card debt or other high interest debt, it might seem like an emergency fund is a waste of money because you're just throwing money at interest that you could be paying off on these high interest debts, and instead you're keeping this money in a savings account and it's not really doing anything for you monetarily. But an emergency fund has such an important purpose. It is there for future you. It is there to make sure that you have the cash on hand to navigate emergency situations as they come up. A lot of us have seen that not many of us actually have jobs that we think are as stable as they once were. There's a lot that can happen, and going into 2021, we really don't know what the future is going to look like. So you want to make sure that you have that cash reserve there before you're throwing it at debt, before you're throwing it at investing, anything else, you want that cash there. So if you want to know exactly how much you should have for an emergency fund, how to even get started, where to keep your emergency fund, I will link my video up here for you guys. This walks you through everything about emergency funds, how to build them, and how much you need personally, because it really varies from person to person depending on your situation. Okay, so your basic needs are met and you have a solid emergency fund, so what should you do with your stimulus check? The next thing that you should ask yourself is, do I have any high interest debt? Usually this kind of looks like credit card debt, maybe even like some high interest car loans or other things like that. This is going to be your next priority. Now, everyone has a different opinion on what they consider to be a high interest debt compared to low or moderate interest. In my opinion, anything over 7, 8, 9% is probably worth targeting as your next move with this stimulus check. If your basic needs are met and you have an emergency fund, really you're just throwing away money on interest every single day with this debt that you have. So this would be the next thing that I would target. So go ahead, take a look at your financial situation, take a look at your debts, your student loans, anything like that. See what the interest rate is on that and decide if it's worth throwing that $600 at your debt to kind of help ease some of that pain of the interest that you are paying every day. If you are stuck in a lot of high interest debt, especially credit card debt, I have been there. I know that feeling. I will link up above a video of me talking about exactly how I paid off $20,000 in credit card debt, all of my steps, the things that I learned along the way to hopefully help you out, to help you get started on paying off that debt if that is where you are at in your financial journey. So the next question that I would ask myself is, what is my next financial goal? What is most important to me right now? Usually that looks like either saving for something, paying off that low interest debt, investing your money, or treating yourself, spending money on something that you have been saving for a long time, or you've had your eye on, or you've been waiting to be able to afford to buy. All of these things are valid. None of them are better than the others. You are not morally better for putting one of those things above the other thing. It is all about what is most important to you right now and what that money can do for you that is going to make you the happiest and bring the most value to your life right now and also in the future. Start looking at yourself now and looking toward the immediate and the long-term future and deciding what feels most important to me right now. Do you have a wedding coming up that you want to make sure that you can pay for in cash? Has it been years since you've taken a vacation and you really want to prioritize that here in 2021? Are you wanting to save for a down payment on a home? Or do you have a baby on the way and you want to make sure that you have money for that? All of these are super valid savings goals. And I highly recommend, if you are saving for something that is like within the next less than 1 or 1 to 5 years, that you just put that money in a high yield savings account. I will link my favorite high yield savings account down below, but really any of them are awesome. High yield savings accounts are just online banks that offer you a little bit of a higher interest rate than like standard bank accounts do for your standard savings accounts. This is your best option to keep that money in there. Don't invest it. You want to make sure that you have it liquid. That way you have it there to spend on whatever your short-term savings goal is. If you have car debt or student loans and one of your biggest priorities is to get that paid off, you want to be debt-free, you want to see that gone, then throw your money toward that. That is awesome, especially right now. If you are someone who, like me, has federal student loans and right now they're on forbearance, they are not racking up any interest, a lot of people are taking advantage of this time to pay off some of that principal. You don't have to worry about accruing more interest as you're paying it off, and that is totally awesome. Throw it at that. Go and take a look at your debt situation and decide if that is what is next on your priority list for what this money can be doing for you. If you're someone who your next priority is to get started investing for the future, that is awesome. I am so excited for you. Whether you already have an investment account established or going into 2021, you want to start investing, I will link my favorite investment app down below. They are awesome. They walk you through everything, and in there you can set up a traditional, a SEP, or a Roth IRA. If you want more information on all of those, also follow me on Instagram. I talk a whole lot about investing, so you can learn more about those there. And finally, don't discount the importance of treating yourself, spending that money on you. If all of your other financial goals are taken care of, you're in a decent place, you have an established emergency fund, you've paid off the debt that you want to pay off, there's nothing wrong with using that money to treat now you. Not everything in personal finance needs to be equated to a monetary value. Money brings value that is not just making more money into our lives, and that is totally valid. If you have had your eye on something special, or you want to spend your money on something that you've been waiting for, or that maybe it's not a complete need, but it would be really convenient to have in your life right now, spend that money. That is awesome. You made it through 2020. You deserve it. In case you're curious about how I plan on spending my stimulus check, I have kind of been going back and forth between whether I want to save it. My big saving priority right now is to save up for a new car, or if I want to invest it. So right now I'm thinking that I'm just going to split it down the middle, put $300 in a Roth IRA, and keep the other $300 in a high yield savings account in my new car budget category. So I'm just gonna go ahead and split it down the middle and put that money toward both of those things. Okay friends, I hope that this helped you decide what you wanna do with your stimulus check and kind of where to go from here. If you wanna continue to learn more about saving, investing, paying off debt, and how to finally feel more confident with your money, make sure that you hit that subscribe button down below. If you enjoyed this video and you found it helpful, I would really love it if you gave it a big thumbs up. It really helps out with the YouTube algorithm, helps boost this video to the top. That way more people can learn and see it. And thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye.